Hello, this is Johnny Cycles of CyclesGaming.com, here with another edition of Dragons in Modern. We have a single land, a couple ways to fill the graveyard. Alright, well this is better with interaction. We don't have our finishers, so maybe we should have kept that first one, but this single land, looking for that, 1, 2, 3... We were going to be leaning heavily on that Thought Scour to find a land. Alright, we are up against Prime Time, Amulet of Vigor, World's Rage. Take the Amulet. Pass the turn. Alright, well these Fatal Pushes aren't looking too good. Force of Negation. We could have saved a pitch to counter the Amulet and instead taken the Primeval Titan, but Valakut, okay. So what do we want? We want a way to fill our graveyard. Well, I should have been more specific. A non-land way to fill our graveyard. Okay, well we're going to get to this Force of Negation hard casting pretty easily here, and then we can always go get an island with Lorien revealed if we feel like it. I think we'll hold on to the Lorien revealed for now, since we're already very easily making all of our land drops. And we may just want to refill our hand to find some way to answer this Prime Time that's going to be coming down. At least we slowed our opponent down considerably by taking that Amulet of Vigor on turn 1. Well, Force of Negation does not hit any other value creatures. Spelunking. So we will crack, go get an island. Do we have another island? How do we not have another island? There it is. Oh wait, we can't get an island. That's what I was like, holy cow. Because it's a Bloodstained Mire. So Spelunking is another Amulet of Vigor, obviously for them. So we want to not let that resolve. Also, we have absolutely nothing else going on. What's our best draw here? Probably a Murktide Regent. Or just another Force of Negation. Okay. So far, our Brew is not looking much like a Brew to our opponent probably, but they're playing Amulet Titans, so I'm not too concerned about what they're thinking about our build. Are they about to say there's no way they're missing a land drop? Boreal Razor. Sure, now they're going to be much closer to Prime Time. We will go ahead and Fatal Push this Grazer, just to get something in our graveyard. It's possible it's a mistake given that they do play cards we can Fatal Push that are better if we had a way to trigger Revolt, but hey, we drew a way to trigger Revolt. So Prime Time's coming, which is bad for us because we don't have any way of stopping it. And we're going to go Shields down to refill our hand. Now, is there any... oh man, even worse. Just should have kept that first hand, clearly. So shields are down. We didn't find an answer, nor did we find another blue spell to pitch for this Force of Negation. Did our opponent find a 6th land in their 30+ land deck? We certainly didn't find anything good. We were all set up though for mini Murktides if we ever draw one. Yeah, I mean, it's fine. Looks like they're not going to go for they're not going to go for Prime Time, which is interesting. But they are going to go exile our graveyard, which is unfortunate. Guess they decided we were a blue-black graveyard deck, which is pretty on point from our opponent. Good for them. We kind of wanted all those cards in our graveyard. Oh man, just the flood is real, folks. So they have their mana for prime time, and we have an Ebondeath Dracolich that we may not want to show our opponent because they already sniffed out our graveyard plan, and that's a similar Murktide deck. Will they go for it into our counter magic that they think we probably have? Sure. Sometimes it's, I guess, we're getting to experience the joy of playing a counterspell deck. Our opponent thinks we have a handful of counters and are waiting to go with their prime time. Little do they know we have zero. Well, we don't. It's not that we don't have action. It's just we did draw this Ebondeath. Dragon Turtle. We got to keep it on top, right? I mean, we're here to play dragons after all, and it does give us something to pitch to our force negation if we need to, but better yet, it can stop a primetime attack before they attack us. Will it be enough? So I sincerely hope so. They don't have any way to, right now, make Valakut work and kill us. So if they do cast prime time, they don't have a way to untap lands, so they're not going to be able to just swing in and kill us even without the Dragon Turtle. So I guess what we're hoping is our opponent continues to play scared, and or goes with an Amulet of Vigor that we can counter with Force and Negation, and then either they go for it with a Titan and we tap it down and hit for a couple more times and get there. Oh, the Dragon Turtle. The first time I played the Dragon Turtle, I had the best. I just lived the dream playing against Tron and was racing them, and they had a one ring out. They tried to stabilize with Wormcoil Engine, and they were counting on attacking with it, and I cast Dragon Turtle and tapped it down, and they couldn't attack with it, and they died to their own one ring. Deals X damage to any target, put up to X lands from your hand in our graveyard up to the battlefield tapped. Yep, we knew about that card. So why don't we force counter that. We don't want our Ebondeath Dracolich to die. I almost forgot we even had the counterspell. I'm just busy talking about that wonderful, wonderful game. Forgot we're playing a counterspell deck, but this is why this is a practice match before I get into a league with the deck. Alright, now they can get their Valakut going. If we need something here. Another Dracolich. Okay. Is this going to be enough? Can we survive one hit? Valakut does so much damage, though. Okay, so they're going to end up, before attacks, though, is what we're going to be able to do. Tap it down. They're not going to be able to hit us for all. Maybe they can get 2 Valakuts. Yeah, I think we're dead. Oh well. We don't have an answer for the Dryad. They have the prime time. We don't have a counterspell to answer that. We're getting to see all of the dragons that are not named Murktide Regent in action right now. Will it be enough? We can win next turn if we can survive one prime time. If they don't, see, they don't get untapped, so if they don't go for the, they're just gonna go for the kill here, right? They have to, like, yeah, they're just, okay, so they'll kill that. But we have another one, and I forgot they're legendary anyway. That's why we're playing the practice game. We weren't going to be able to flash them and attack for 10 next turn. So we're going to need more help than that. Here comes prime time. Sure. Opponent's probably thinking they should have gone for it sooner, and well, you never know when you're playing against blue-black. You gotta assume they have counter magic if they're not doing anything else, which we were not. And they just got a bunch of Alacuts and we're dead. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep. Go to game 2. Man, just... yeah, I mean, we got to see our dragons in action, which is almost good enough, but we were unable to get to any sort of counter magic to stop that Primeval Titan, so we could have played that differently. Thought seized the Titan and used the Force Negation against the Amulet of Vigor on turn 1. Not, you know, you can't... I'm not sure that would have been the right play, though, to be fair. Alright, mana value 2. What do we want to bring in against Prime Time, if anything? A Boomerang doesn't seem great. Stern Scolding. Is that better than what else we're doing? That's the question. It does hit a few things. Take out the Lauren Revealed. They're going to bring in some kind of graveyard hate, I imagine. They already figured out we were a graveyard deck. We could bring in Boomerangs to try to play around that, but we'll see. They didn't see any Murktide. Maybe they're not going to think we're a graveyard deck. Alright, so this is the kind of, other than the Murktide, this is a little bit better as far as our early interaction goes. We don't have double blue either, which is a problem. I think we're going to get an island and preordain and hope to find another island plus a Murktide. Well, there's the Murktide and there's the preordain. So we'll put that on top, that on top. A little bit awkward that we don't have a second blue source, but that is one of the drawbacks of playing this strategy. So you get a mana of any color to cast an Amulet of Vigor. I didn't even pay attention to the fact that we could have thought seized that turn to take that Amulet of Vigor out of their hand. Got so distracted by my potential of him wanting to hit land drops. Alright, we'll take probably, so they're going to have, I think we'll take the Cultivator Colossus. And then we will Thought Scour at the end of our turn. And unless they, well, Stern Scolding the Dryad. And if they don't do that, we will Thought Scour. I mean, they almost have to go for it here, I assume. With one blue, they gotta assume that they can get who brings in Stern Scolding against Amulet Titan. I mean, I assume people who play Stern Scolding probably keep it in for this very reason. It is one of the best cards against what they're trying to do. Gotcha. Now they're down to one land. They still have the Amulet of Vigor though, so we're not out of the woods yet. Did hit the blue source. Right on time. So we gotta go for this Murktide now before they find a way to get rid of our graveyard. It's only a 6/6, so that's not the fastest of clocks. But seeing as they have nothing going on right now, and they're far away from a prime time, I'm hoping we'll find some answers with this Preordain and Thought Scour to either get into another Murktide and kill them dead, or find the counter spell for the right moment against Prime Time. They have the Veil of Summer though, we have to keep that in mind. Alright, they scoop it up. Yeah, I don't know, they could have played that out. Yeah, they're gonna die in 4 turns. I'm sure they could have found an answer, right? Guess not. Alright, now they're on the play. What do we want against them on the play? These boomerangs could be good against Amulet of Vigor. Maybe we do want to bring them in. Take out the fatal pushes. They do hit the Dryads though. And in the right, they often are going to be too slow is the problem. I don't know, I'll try it like that. I want to test out the boomerang. I just put in the boomerang to answer, whoops. Just put in the boomerang to answer Graveyard Hate that is brought in against us. Rather than Petty Theft, Brazen Borrower, because that card's like almost $10. And Boomerang's like 4 cents. Well, I kind of want to keep this hand and force a negation. They're mulliganing to 6. I kind of want to be able to force their opening play. And we have the 2 Murktides. We have a way to fill the yard. We have counter magic. I think we have everything we want. We just need lands. If one of these was a Preordain, Forest can get their Amulet of Vigor out though. If they mold to find one, we can force a Vigor the Amulet, or force a negation the Amulet. Okay, so they did not. Land. Landed, I'm happy. Land blue source. Be more specific. Ouch. Okay, well Stitcher Supplier is a great way to fuel our graveyard. We just need a black source too. What do we pitch though? Probably the Murktide, to be honest. That hurts because but we have another one. We really need these other pieces. Thought Scour to dig, Counterspell to answer something else, and we have this other Murktide. They must not have had an untapped land, is why they didn't run it out last turn. Alright, we really want to hit a land off this Thought Scour. Love to see things like, well, just draw us into a land, Thought Scour. Do us a solid. Preordain, not a land. Wow, we were not drawing any lands. Okay, Preordain's good though. There's a land. What's the worst that they can do now with what they have going on? 1, 2, 3, 4. So I think we're gonna hold up a counter. Well, they don't have an untapped land. We saw that, so I think this is the moment we want to go for it. We Preordain first. Bottom. Top. We already played a land, so and then we will Stitcher Supplier. Just hope they don't have any way to nuke our graveyard and for 1 turn. We do have to fade a lot though. We're gonna have a really big Murktide if we can stick it. Well, never mind. Well played, opponent. Well played. Okay, we'll see what we find. Gotta rebuild now. Boreal Grazer, sad face. So opponent had the Timely Bajuka Bog. Maybe that was what they're mulliganing for, I don't know, but I don't think we saw that. No, there's no way we saw it, but we saw this and this, so we didn't know that we were, we have to play to our game plan and hope they don't have their one of Bajuka Bog. Maybe they play 2. Another Dragon Turtle. Alright, that's something we can play at the end step if we want. They're up to 4 mana. do not think we'll be running out the Dragon Turtle to stop an Arboreal Grazer, but it maybe. It does put a clock on our opponent, a very, very slow clock, because it takes a while for it to untap. It's interesting that I was... well, we're going to counter that. They don't have the Veil of Summer mana. They're one of their support pieces, obviously, and we don't want them to start going off and kill us with Valakut. Now we still want to hit a land. A land cantrip. That is a cantrip. So if we do Thought Scour, we get 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's say we draw into a land. We could theoretically... Alright, we're going to Thought Scour this time. I was going to say I think we can cast Murktide this turn if my math is right, and we draw into a land. 1, 2, 3, 4. We did not draw into a land. We did get a Force Negation, which is not bad. It would have had to been a blue source. That's unfortunate for us. But they're looking to rebuild with something that... I wonder if we can counter this enchantment creature with a Force Negation. I feel like no. It's both a creature and an enchantment, so... Alright, our opponent's going slow. It's good for us, but our shields will definitely be down for prime time. There's the Dryad. Should we try it? This makes me sad. They had another one. And you know that they're going to have the prime time in hand. You don't play... It seems like they don't have another land drop, though. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we can get... 1, 2, 3, a 6/6 Murktide. Hold up this Force and Negation. That's not going to do anything, though. Do we preordain and hope for a counterspell? Alright, we're going to preordain and hope to find another blue source, if not a counterspell or both. Oh. Wow. Max punished. Double Fatal Push. Did I not do it already? There we go. Right? Hello? Maximum punished right there. Man, and we drew another preordain. Well, maybe we can hit a land drop this way. That was not the ideal. Polluted Delta is good. Now we wish we had kept the Fatal Push. Oh, man. See, if we had... Now we could Fatal Push the Dryad, and we're shields down for many, many things. Sometimes I think we should just have no basic swamps, or one basic swamp in this deck. Alright, do they have prime time, or some way to find it? We can Force a Negation something if they go searching for their Primeval Titan. They can also just play a bounce land and get the Bajuka Bog back. And here comes prime time. Getting the Bajuka Bog back. Okay. We took a little bit more of a... Yep. We took a... I guess you could say a greedier line by not going for the Murktide last turn. I'm not sure it was the wrong play. We had a preordained to try to find an island. All we needed was to find one island in the top 3 cards. And we were unable to do that. Since we were unable to do that, we... Yeah. Maximum punish with those Fatal Pushes. Although, again, we're like thinking we could have kept it and had the Fatal Pushes to kill the Dryad. All that's in hindsight. So we would have had a... This is why we went for it, though. We would have had a 6/6 Murktide, and they were going to get a prime time down, and then Valakut it to death. And we were digging for a blue and a counterspell or both. I guess we were never going to be able to get both double blue and counterspell, so we were probably just drawing dead no matter what. But we were trying to find an answer for this moment right now. And we did not. And now we are going to die. It's their last card. Primeval Titan, though. You know you want to attack. Get in that 2/4 man. We have 0 ways of gaining life. Watery Grave. Our deck's mocking us. When we wanted lands, we didn't draw them, and now we're drawing them. Stern Scolding right on time. Okay. Guess what? Dragon Turtle. I hate to tell you, but the whole game is on your back, Mr. Dragon Turtle. Can you buy us enough time to find us? Opponent's gonna be like, what the, you know what? I don't know, we're gonna lose, but I love it. I'm so happy. I'm so happy with the Dragon Turtle. It makes me so happy watching him have a Veil of Summer. It makes me so happy. The Dragon Turtle. What you got now, homie? You can't stop a Dragon Turtle. Opponent's like, alright, well, I guess we won't get to attack this turn. We're gonna... Oh, we need to find another Dragon Turtle if we're gonna have a chance, I think. Or a Boomerang. A Boomerang doesn't do it, though. I mean, all they really need is some land. 2 lands and we're dead. They play so many lands. Alright, we're dead. Alright, GG's. For CyclesGaming.com, this is Johnny Cycles. I'll catch y'all on the next one. Dragon Turtle.
This is Johnny Cycles with CyclesGaming.com, and this has been another edition of Dragons in Modern. Be sure to go to my site and check out all of my original Magic the Gathering content, where I post articles and video of my janky modern brews in my commander decks. I'm also publishing a couple chapters every month for my science fiction fantasy novel called The Pod Kind. Check me out on YouTube as well. Click that subscribe button. I'd really appreciate it. And I'll catch you on the next one.